In this lesson, you are going to learn 4 different text structures or organizations. But before we start, I have here 3 important reminders. First, if you want to stay a little longer in that part of the lesson, or you want to take down notes or even take pictures, you may pause this video. If you want to review the whole lesson, you may rewatch or replay this video. And lastly, if you have some questions and you are my students in my English Language Arts class, you may ask questions during our next live meeting. And if you are students outside my class and would like to learn this lesson, you may write your questions in the comment section. After the lesson, you are expected to: first, identify the different literary text structures or organizations. Second, explain how the author organized the text. And lastly, explain how each text structure contributes to its meaning. This lesson is based on or anchored with the Common Core State Standard, particularly on Reading for Literature or RL.5, that says comparing and contrasting the structure of 2 or more texts and analyze how the structure of each text contributes to meaning and style. And this lesson's target students are grades 6 through 8. What are text structures? Text structures are ways or styles that text can be organized. In this lesson, I am going to present and discuss 4 text structures, and these are: first, chronological order; second, compare and contrast; third, cause and effect; and fourth, problem and solution. Let's have the first text structure, which is the chronological order. To start, let us define chrono and logical or logic. Chrono means time and logic means order. So it means stories or events are told in order of time. Chronological order happens when information in a passage is organized by the time in which each event occurred. For nonfiction passages, they are organized chronologically with dates. Usually, chronological order is used in a story, and in order for you to easily identify if the text is structured in a chronological order or manner, just observe if the text has some dates or particular time when an event or events occurred in the text. To better understand how a chronological order or manner text structure is used in a text, let us read and analyze this simple personal story. This morning was crazy. My alarm clock was set for PM instead of AM, so I woke up really late. I just threw in some clothes and ran out the door. I rode my bike as fast as I could and thought I was going to be late for sure. But when I got there, everyone was outside and there were fire trucks all lined up in front of school. I guess somebody pulled the fire alarm before class started. It worked out though, because nobody really noticed or minded that I was tardy. In this example, this is how the person in the paragraph narrated the story in a chronological order. He said that his or her morning was crazy because first, he woke up late. And since he woke up late, he needed to or she needed to prepare for school. So he rode bike to school, and when he was or she was there, he or she found out that everyone was outside the school, and at the same time, fire trucks lined up in front of school. So this is how these different events to support why the morning was crazy for this person are arranged in a chronological order. Also, this morning is the time when these events occurred. So you can see here that we have the time, which is this morning. And these four events from number 1 through number 4 are arranged in a chronological order. So these are the events that happened in that morning. Let's have another example. This is a non-fiction story or passage. Pablo Picasso was known for his abstract style. That means that his art looks out of this world. His father was also an artist. He started training him when Pablo was 7. When he was 13, he was so good that his father quit painting. At the age of 16, Pablo Picasso went to art school. In this example, this is how the events that could prove Pablo Picasso's love for art are arranged in a chronological order. First, when he was 7, he started training. Second, when he was 13, he was good and his father quit painting. And lastly, when he was 16, he went to art school. Also, Pablo Picasso's ages in the story, like 7, 13, and 16, represent the time when those events of his life happened. Let's move now to the second text structure, which is the compare and contrast. Compare and contrast happen when the similarities and differences of two or more things are examined. It is important to remember that with a compare and contrast text structure, the text should be discussing similarities and differences. If the text only discusses similarities, it is only comparing. Please take note. Likewise, if it only discusses ways that the things are different, it is only contrasting. So, the text must do both to be considered compare and contrast. Identifying when the writer is comparing and contrasting is usually not difficult because the speaker will back and forth between two subjects, and this pattern is generally pretty easy to recognize. Also, here are some signal words that may indicate that the text is written using the compare and contrast organizational pattern. Words such as like and like both, neither, similar, different, but, however, and on the contrary. To better understand how this text structure or compare and contrast is used in a text, let's have an example. Apples and oranges are both fruits, which means that they have seeds inside of them. Each has a skin, but orange skins are thick and easy to peel. Apple skins are thinner and do not peel easily. Oranges also contain more acid than apples, but both fruits are delicious. This example compares and contrasts the apples and oranges. In the example, how the two fruits are alike and different are discussed. As stated in the passage or in this example, they are alike because both are fruit, have skin, and both are delicious. And they're different because oranges have more acid and apples have thinner skin. Also, the example uses the word signals like but and both, as you can see in the paragraph. Let's have another example. All matter, all things can be changed in two ways: chemically and physically. Both chemical and physical changes affect the state of matter. Physical changes are those that do not change the makeup or identity of the matter. For example, clay will bend or flatten if squeezed, but it will still be clay. Changing the shape of clay is a physical change and does not change the matter's identity. However, chemical changes turn the matter into a new kind of matter with different properties. For example, when paper is burnt, it becomes ash and will never be paper again. The difference between them is that physical changes are temporary or only last for a little while, and chemical changes are permanent, which means they last forever. Physical and chemical changes both affect the state of matter. This example compares and contrasts the chemical and physical changes as it discusses how the two are alike and different. First, they are alike because both affect the state of matter, and they are different because first, physical changes don't change the makeup or identity of the matter. Second, chemical changes turn the matter into a new kind of matter with different properties. Third, physical changes are temporary while chemical changes are permanent. Also, the example uses the word signals like both, however, and the difference. Let's go now to the third text structure, which is cause and effect. Paragraphs structured as cause and effect explain reasons why something happened or the effects of something. These paragraphs can be ordered as causes and effects or as effects and then causes. The cause and effect text structure is generally used in expository and persuasive writing. For instance, when an author gives reasons why something happened, he or she is explaining what cause and effect. It means that the reasons are causes. Also, when a writer explains the results of an action, he or she is explaining the effects of a cause. It means that the results are the effects. Here are some signal words that may indicate that information in a paragraph is organized as cause and effect. Words such as because, another reason, for this reason, for, as a result, resulted, caused, affected, since, due to, and effect. To better understand how cause and effect is used in a text, let's have an example. Many people think that they can get sick by going into cold weather improperly dressed. However, illnesses are not caused by temperature. They are caused by germs. So, while shivering outside in the cold probably will not strengthen your immune system, you are more likely to contract an illness indoors because you will have a greater exposure to germs. In the given example, the paragraph explains how germs cause illnesses. So in this example, the cause is people are exposed to germs, while the effect or the result is people get sick or an illness. Also, the author used the signal word caused to show cause and effect. Let's have another example. Students are not allowed to chew gum in our school, while some students think that we are just being mean. There are many good reasons for this rule. First, some students make messes with their gum. They may leave it on the bottoms of desks, drop it on the floor, or put it on other people's property. Another reason why we do not allow students to chew gum is because it is a distraction. When they are allowed to chew gum, students are more worried about having it, popping it, chewing it, and snapping it when they are in listening, writing, reading, and learning. This is why we do not allow students to chew gum in our school. In this example, the paragraph explains why students are not allowed to chew gum in class or in school. So in this example, we have two causes or reasons. The first one is gum makes messes in the classroom, and the other one is gum is a distraction. And the effect or result is the students are not allowed to chew gum. Also, the author used the signal word reason and another reason to show cause and effect in the paragraph. Let's now go to the last structure, which is problem and solution. Problem and solution is a text structure where information in a passage is expressed as a concerning issue or that is the problem, and something that was, can be, or should be done to remedy this issue is the solution. The following are some signal words which may indicate that information in a passage is ordered in the problem and solution pattern of organization. Words such as propose, solution, answer, issue, problem, problematic, remedy, prevention, should, and fix. To better understand how a problem and solution text structure is used in a text, let's have an example. A sprain is a tear in the muscle. Sprains happen when a muscle is twisted or overstretched. They can be painful. If you sprain a muscle, the remedy is you should ice it immediately. Putting ice on a sprain will reduce swelling and pain. It may help stop internal bleeding too. In this example, the problem is a sprain, and the solution is put ice on the sprained muscle. Also, the signal word remedy is evident in the paragraph. Let's have another example. Dr. Reyes doesn't want the tigers to vanish. These majestic beasts are disappearing at an alarming rate. He thinks that we should write to our Congress people. If we let them know that we demand the preservation of this species, maybe we can make a difference. He also thinks that we should donate to save the tigers. Our donations will help to support and empower those who are fighting the hardest to preserve the tigers. So in this example, the problem is tigers are disappearing in an alarming rate. And the paragraph or the passage has offered two solutions. First, write to the Congress people to let them know that we demand the preservation of this species. And second, donate to save the tigers. Also, the signal word should is evident in the paragraph. Do you have any questions or feedback? Please write them down in the comment section. Thank you for watching.